Northern Kenya occupies the extreme part of the country with extensive plains lying between 300 and 900 meters above sea level. In the land shaped with strong winds, sudden torrents of rain, and climatic extremes, rainfall is sparse and unpredictable. Streambeds are usually dry and waterholes are few. In this vast and expansive region lies Marsabit County, occupying about 16% of Kenya's landmass, making it arguably the largest and most expansive county in the country. Culture, livelihood, and traditional governance structures make the fabric that brings together all the different communities that stay in Marsabit County. The region has Kenya's only true desert known as Chalbi. This is the region's hottest site, surrounded by dry volcanic and ranging from horizon to horizon, with no shelter or vegetation to support both human and animal life. However, communities around these areas have made their culture blend with their landscape and develop their lifestyle that comforts them in this unique habitation. Frequent climatic shocks and the environmental nature of the region affects people's lives, peace, and traditional organization structure, and sometimes leads to disasters and community displacement. The Pastoralist Community Initiative and Development Assistance, Pacida, is an indigenous, non-sectarian, non-profit, non-governmental organization committed to sustainable pastoralist development.
We thought that forming an indigenous, so to speak, organization will leave kind of a background information all the time. And also the fact that we are coming from that setting will give us advantage in terms of addressing the key issues that affect pastoralism.
In its programs, Pacida pursues long-term and sustainable development in collaboration with the beneficiary communities, government, development actors, and other stakeholders. The key objectives of Pacida programs are to contribute towards improved health and quality of life and reduce poverty levels through provision of water and sanitation services on a sustainable basis, to contribute to increased access, equity, and quality of education for children in ASAL regions, to enhance livelihoods of target communities through increased agriculture and livestock development and marketing, as well micro-enterprise development, to strengthen peace, coexistence, and cohesion of ASAL communities and enhance citizen participation in local governance, to build disaster resilience of the ASAL community through climate change, adaptations, and responding to emergencies, and to develop the institutional capacity of Pacida to ensure organizational sustainability.
We had a common understanding that all the pastoral communities, their problem is almost shared. Drought might occur in different places at different times, but they do occur in all the ASAL areas. And if you look at Marsabit, there's quite a diversity of communities.
Marsabit County frequently experiences biting drought that leads to the loss of livelihoods, decreased water levels in water sources, dying of boreholes or earth pans, severe malnutrition, depletion of pasture and browse, possible outbreaks of diseases, and in some cases, human deaths.
By virtue of working among the pastoral communities, and as one component, then there's going to be mismatch and the circle will not be complete. If there's no water, if there's no education to those people who are moving in the vast land, range land, looking after the animals, if you don't incorporate aspect of peaceful coexistence and sharing of resources, then there are bound to be issues amongst the pastoralists while they are mobiling. They're highly mobile because they move into where there are pastures and water for their animals. In that case now, we run those integrated programs. That is why we are not specialized in one specific area. That is why we are in every sector, so that we will not have gap to address those few sectors that we are running.
Pacida has been working in communities in Marsabit County in Kenya on programs that have enhanced diversified and sustainable livelihoods, improved resilience to disasters across different livelihood zones in Marsabit County. The programs include livelihood development and diversification, water, sanitation and hygiene, education, governance, peace and conflict management, disaster risk reduction, and institutional development and strengthening.
Our vision, it's peaceful, progressively prosperous and resilient community. And our mission is to improve the well-being of vulnerable ASAL communities through sustainable development. Our core values are integrity, inclusivity, transparency and accountability, professionalism, equity and equality.
The livelihood development and diversification is developed to increase agricultural and livestock productivity and diversify livelihoods by providing affordable inputs and training agro-pastoralists and groups on improved production methods and new enterprises. The program also streamlines the management of livestock markets. Many households improved on agricultural productivity and diversification of livelihoods that has led to an increase in production per unit, and many households are now involved in more than one economic activity than before when they only used to rely on livestock. Through the programs, various milestones have been realized in livelihood diversification. These include, among others, women in enterprise are running their businesses successfully and contributing to the household budget. Empowerment or access to credit from formal banking institutions.
Pacida imetusaidia kwa training ya biashara, imetupea skills, vile ya kujiinua, vile ya kusave na loaning. Hata sasa tumejua kuweka faida, tumejua kujiinua katika biashara. Wametupea pesa ya kujiinua na ninaona sasa niko mbali, sio vile nilikuwa.
Women have grown in confidence with now about 20% approaching financial institutions for bigger loans. New livelihood mechanisms emerging that provide alternatives to their traditional lifestyles. Successful project implementations have brought together multiple stakeholders from different ethnic communities, bringing about peace and cohesion. Marsabit is a rain-deficient county that largely relies on rain-dependent water systems. Rainfall in most of the county is between 150 and 300 millimeters per year. Water Sanitation and Hygiene program focuses on increasing provision of clean water and sanitation services on a sustainable basis. It also engages communities by training them on sustainable management of water resources. It establishes ground and surface water supply systems and introduces appropriate technology for water harvesting, supply and storage. Through the program, there is now provision of clean water and sanitation services on a sustainable basis in the targeted areas.
This project is sustainable in the sense that people pay for water because they pay in advance. There is nobody, like before, people don't pay for water. But now everybody pays for water, and this system has really improved revenue collection because they are getting money. They are selling water and they are able to get funds from sale of water. It is sustainable because they can use that money to sustain the system and also be able to expand the system by piping water to different villages, and also it can help them to drill another borehole.
The program has built resilience against drought in the implemented projects and population that has almost doubled in some areas. This has improved the sense of well-being and dignity among women and girls, with an average hygiene indicator going high in the beneficiary communities. There's a big boost on economic change because money that was used to look for water is now being used to pay school fees and buy food, and reduced walking distances to water sources.
Samani hakuna maji kama sahi. Sahi maji sahi kilitu. Hakuna shida ya maji. Sisi basi tumeona vizuri kwa sababu tunashota tu maji kwa huko. Kwa nyumbani.
For many years, the pastoral nomadic lifestyle had neglected formal education. This has contributed greatly to the high level of literacy in Marsabit. During drought, children hardly go to school because there is no food and water. Instead, they accompany their parents in search of the two items. The program spearheaded the improvement of some school conditions by installing of solar water pumps, construction of latrines in rural schools. The program has coordinated and supported training and mentorship school management boards on school management. It has provided basic school facilities in select schools. It has also established mechanisms to increase access and retention for marginalized groups.
Our power to retain them was highly enhanced due to the food support that we have been given by Pacida. Initially, our girls were sleeping on mats. Some of them are sleeping on animal skins. And when we appealed to the Pacida, they gave us 300 mattresses.
These interventions have made access to quality education in preschool, primary and secondary schools, increase and enhance access to quality education, attracting an increase in enrollment, retention and transition at different levels. Generally, the areas where schools used to perform poorly have started experiencing good examination outcomes, and boarding facilities have been made a safe haven for children who used to travel long distances to and from schools. Governance, Peace and Conflict Management Program is tailor-made to improve community cohesion and increase citizen participation in local governance, integrate peace training and conflict resolution in other Pacida programming areas, promote peace building, awareness initiatives around the county, and monitor the number of community members participating in local leadership. This has revitalized community cohesion and increased citizen participation in local governance of conflicts, reported per month with increased population who are members of the community leadership structure. The Disaster Risk Reduction Program is developed around the resilience of the target groups and households to bridge the existing gap between drought-resilient livelihoods, natural resource management, intercommunal conflict management, and the long-term development concerns in the region. The interventions have led to the reduction of the community's vulnerability to disasters and improved their resilience, and identified and strengthened community disaster response institutions. Great impacts were realized after restocking of livestock to families affected by frequent drought. Over the years, Pacida has been improving its organizational capacity to deliver on its programming to achieve its key objectives. The organization has developed and implemented policies for capacity enhancement among staff and board members with enhanced financial management systems and resource mobilization.
It is the board members that gives this organization really where they are supposed to focus. They give them also direction of their work. They guide them. They give input. And also they sometimes try to source even for the well-wishers or sponsors or donors at their level, and even give the community, the face of the organization to the community, and also give the feedback to the organization.
Through the able support of donors, Pacida seeks more support and collaboration to continue alleviating the suffering of the pastoralist community to sustainable levels within and outside Marsabit County.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank our donors, their governments, and the general public for not only giving us funds, but mentoring us, building our capacity, and working with us this far in the delivery of services to the communities in need. Were it not for your support, we wouldn't have managed to pull thousands and thousands of children from harding life to school. Were it not for your support, we wouldn't have managed to diversify livelihoods of our poor mothers. We wouldn't have managed to save lives and livelihoods of our communities who are often ravaged by different disasters.
Thank you for food vouchers, restocking, restoring peace, empowering women, improving education of our children, lobbying, advocating for our rights, and as well our concern for our health and that of our livestock. On your priority to-do list when you have many other things to do. Thank you. Thank you for